Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. That's where I usually start the timer. Okay. So I never really intended on speedrunning this game or bringing it to a marathon. But I mean, it's such a great game, and why wouldn't you want to play it over and over again? So yeah, I guess it's just go.
Thanks to Goof Troop being great, we have regained a quarter of an hour on the schedule!
There are a few sequence breaks in this game. I'd like to say maybe one or two more noticeable ones in each chapter. They don't save a huge amount of time, but it's all meaningful to the run. The main part of the game is just kind of monitoring and sort of routing your use of your scarf, which will give you jumps and boosts, which increase your speed. So it's pretty good. And this is done. These little guys, if you chirp at them, they'll give you a boost like that. Anything? Oh, never mind. So this will be an all hidden symbols run, which means I pick up all of these little guys in all of the chapters. I much prefer this category to the more typical any percent, whereas except currently this is the any percent run. Having a long scarf is just that useful. There are some tricky sequence breaks you can do. You can't do if you're missing just one or two sections of scarf up to the part you need them. The cutscene you just saw is pretty much the largest, like, sole way of communicating the story in a easy way. And I'll be going through all of those, so you're not missing anything. Okay. There's a pretty cool trick here where if you can catch the sand unit just the right place at the angle, it's not hard to get, but and the wind should let me slide. There you go. Without this, I'd have to walk this distance, and so that's pretty helpful. Okay. In this this chapter, this area, you want to you have to activate these cloth things to open up use of a bridge, as you can see on the top left there. You can do this without. Okay, nice. You can do that without completing the bridge. Which is really nice. Okay. And it can be a little tricky sometimes, just depending on where I use my chirp for these guys. Oh, okay. Okay, nice. For the most part, that just skips a couple of cutscenes. No fighting. It's just about the platforming, really. It's actually going to be pretty useful to hold on to my scarf for now. In the past, I've just burned it because I felt like you'd have to use it to cross the ground anyway, and I didn't really know of a useful place to use it as far as crossing gaps is concerned, but we found a very little gap to save a few frames. In a true any percent run, I would imagine you'd probably pick up all of the hidden symbols except for the ones in this area. Simply because it's so big, so wide, and you'll see the kind of mission I go on to pick them all up. Okay. All right. Also, the way the boost works in this area for going up these dunes is really irritating. I wish it would just boost you up there, but it tends to give you this sort of very stumpy hop. So I opt out of using them to travel up these dunes and rather use them to travel across gaps. Oh yeah, there are also these little guys you'll see around. They're pretty nice because they recharge my scarf whenever I'm in contact with them. Unfortunately for the current route in this area, you don't really get close to them. And these these are the guys I was talking about. They're pretty cool. Okay, that was good. Ideally, you don't want to pick up too many of the tickets with the chirp because it'll send you higher than you want. Okay, so I want to save one. I think that's one boost left. Okay. So, come on. Okay, good. Once you finish the game with all of the symbols, you unlock the white cloak. It's once you're grounded, it'll recharge your scarf automatically. So it's helpful like that. But I haven't worked on a speed run with it, like a New Game Plus speed run, because I feel like it takes away all of the kind of scarf. I don't know, like scarf routing and the momentum. This next chapter is pretty good. I think this is the only area where it can really be a problem for the run if I miss any of the symbols, because I would have to quit out the game to get them. And here has to be one of my favorite sequence breaks in the game. Okay, I'm doing marathon safe stress there. When you pick up the symbols as well, they sort of keep you. Sorry, I'm very tired. Keep you level for a little bit of time and don't use up your boost. So it allows me to have a little more scarf here to attempt the next sequence break. That should be good. Okay. Okay, time for another kind of cutscene skip. If I just go sharp around here, yeah, then I don't have to go through the animation of him standing at the top. Oh yeah, and this game uses a 6-axis for its camera, which is pretty annoying. But if you leave it steady for an amount of time, it decides that's the neutral position, and I can start using the right analog stick to move the camera. Just another one of the small sequence breaks. Well, not sequence break, but it's useful. Okay. Missed the door. The next part is pretty tricky. Okay, maybe a little slow. Basically, I want to use enough scarf to get me over here. That's generally enough to let me get almost fully charged. So I'm going to walk here. Okay. Nice. Okay. Those are the bad guys. Okay, here is very difficult. Or this one I find pretty hard. Okay, got it. With Scarf to spare. Okay, keep doing that good. There's also a co-op mode for this game, which it connects with you with other people using PSN at a time in your area, and it's kind of nice because you don't get to know who they are or know what they're doing for a while. Their PSN name only pops up after you finish the game, saying here are all the guys you met on your journey. It would be really cool to get a co-op speedrun, because there are things you can do such as infinite jumping, where you can chirp to charge your co-op partner's scarf. Then they jump, then they chirp for your scarf, then you jump, and just keep going like that until you get what you want done. But the problem with that is there's no way of directly connecting to anyone else. So we'd have to go enter the game and leave, enter the game and leave over and over again until we've worked out we're both in game. So right now all we have is the single player speedrun. Why was he on the floor? Did I get it? Okay. Okay. Good. This chapter holds the one sequence break that requires you have like the max amount of boost, and it's a pretty good one. Okay. leaving these platforms early skips each cutscene related to the glyph there. Okay. This is where it can be a little difficult. Not quite this one, but okay, you'll see. Okay, now where are my little guys? Okay. Come on! Okay, nice. That skips the last glyph sequence. What's the time? 34. Okay. This is kind of where the meterless speedrun ends, because the next area is very long. It limits the use of your scarf heavily. There are still some cool speedrunning tricks, but it's just one chapter that takes up nearly half the run, so as far as runners for this game goes, we have maybe 2 or 3 people on SDA interested in running this, but no one's particularly active on it. It's just kind of, just like me, more of a enjoyable thing to be able to just sit down, play the game. I apologise that I don't remember the other 2 guys' names. Okay. should be able to just make it to this one. I may be a little slow. Okay, good. Okay, here's where it kind of gets funky. Let's see if I can get this right. We don't need our scarf anyway. There's not really any possible way to use it in this area. This next one is actually really tricky. Jeez. That's good. In here. Usually I can get to the one in the top left there, but it's so close every single time. maybe too far on the left. Yeah. Normally I would be able to get straight through this this arch. I don't know if I already said, but I should probably make it clear that the cold in this area depletes your scarf regardless of if you're using it. So even with the white cloak, I can't remember exactly, but it might just not charge at all. Which is why when I get to areas offering boost, then I just use it. Get up there. Where are you going? Unfortunately, there are no pro strats for this bit. Just hold forward, sit tight. this area is pretty good. There's actually an out of bounds in this area, which is kind of weird. It's not conducive to anything, but so many people have just accidentally fallen out of bounds. Okay. That skips a whole sliding sequence. Just heading over the rocks there. Where am I going? I want to be this way.
Seriously, this game has awesome music. This is an awesome event. It's European Speedsters Assembly 2012. We have been racing since Thursday 3 PM. A load of games in a ton of personal best times. Contra Sub 11. For charity. Our awesome charity is Hand in Hand, who are doing an awesome job in trying to eliminate the not so awesome poverty in developing countries by creating income and jobs. If you want to help them reach their goal, which would make
Can you be ready on the
awesome,
time?
all you have to do is donate to our chip-in. There are numerous things you can donate for, most notably if we get another $200 complete, well, you know, total, to add up to $2,500 altogether. Many people, 4 people will be cross-dressing. If you want me to join them, you will have to do that by 12:30 at the latest, otherwise I will be gone. And since this awesome run is ending, I shall now be awesomely quiet.
One second. Okay, done.
54:36.
Okay, nice.